Hello everyone. In this video, in this video, we are continuing from our previous lesson. So our previous lesson we did with other elements like the H1 to H6, the heading, the paragraph, we did with the list of items, and we've got to know the on other list and other list of items, and we also did with void elements like the break and then horizontal line in there. Now, we want also learn about links, navigation through pages or linking other pages. So if you want to link different pages together, how do we go about it in the linker? So before we do that, we click on explore here on our editor, and then here at the top here, you will see new folder. You click on new folder and then you name it pages. So with this one, we are going to put in our other pages except the index file into the pages. So index file must not be in a folder. So we click enter, and then under here we click on it, and then we click on new file. So we'll have uh, maybe we'll name it as computer science. So we'll name it computer science.html in over there. So that's our new page page that we have created in the pages folder. So here is the same content. I'm just going to copy it and then over there. So this one still have the headings and then paragraphs from our previous section that we did. So I just copy so we can have two pages in over there. So I just save it, and if you can see, we have one in the page folder and one in the index folder. So we are going to see how we can able to link these two together. Now let's see how do we link in there. So in our code in here, I wanted to see our code clear. That's why I click there. So in our code in here, where we have our profile in being here, and then our level and about me here, we can come and then put in here. You can come then and put in here um, where we have about me, maybe underneath here. So I just do the tab where we have section here, and then I can come and create in a paragraph, a new paragraph. So I can just open a paragraph in here, and then I can see click here to view or visit computer science web. So click here to visit computer science web page. So computer science websites. All right. So we want to use a link to link these two pages together. So in the link, if you want to create a link, we introduce another tag called the anchor tag. The anchor tag. So the anchor tag is an A tag. So where I want to put in the link, I open my so I want to link this test here. So what I'll do is that I'll just open my A tag in here, and then by default, VS Code will close the anchor tag. So because we want to link this test here, we will copy this test and put it in between the anchor tag because the test that we want to link. So we put in between the A tag, the open and the closing. So that's how I've copied it up to. So where you want to link the test that you want to link, you open the anchor tags and then you put it in. So we can save it and then have a look at how it look at in our web page. So I open, then I refresh. So if you can see, we have click here too. So when you say, if you check, this test is not linked. So how do we link it? Then let's go back to our code. Now in HTML, we have other element tag which they have attributes inside them. So example of such ones are the anchor tag. Anchor tag are type of element that has attribute, they are some. So anchor tag is example of that. So anchor tag have attributes. So the attributes are put in the open tag. they are put in the open tag over there. So this is the open tag of the anchor tag and the closing. So attributes are put in there. So here, before you put in an attribute, you make sure that you leave a space between the elements, the open elements here. So you create a space in there, and then you bring the attribute. So the anchor tag, the attribute is href. So the href is to point the location of the link. So for instance, the link that we have here in this test, we want to know if we click here, where should we go? Where should we, when we click here, what page should we open, or where should we go? The next place, the next place that the test supposed to navigate you through. So our going is a href. So the href is pointing the next location of our page that we want to link. So bring our equal sign and then double quote in there. So basically, attributes have the the anchor tag. You leave a space. One of the key features of the attribute is that you leave a space after the tag element. You leave a space, as you can see. Then you bring in the attribute. You bring your equal sign and then double quote where you put in the value of the attribute. So we put in the value of the attribute. So a space, the attribute, the equal sign with double quote, and then we put in the value inside the double quote. So in here, we put in our value here. So if you check in here, we want to link this CSS, CS, we want to link the CS in our index page. So we'll come and then we'll do that here. So what we'll do is that we just put in our cs.html inside the anchor tag nicely. So we have put in there with the anchor tag being linked. So this one we have linked in this test. So when we click on it, it takes us to the page. So let's go and see our code refresh. So here is it. When you click on it, it takes us to the. So you see when I click on it, say file could not find access. So we'll learn why it happened. So now because it's been linked, the test being linked, it's having a default color blue with underline. It's so that's the default when your first time you link a test, you have a blue color and underline under it need. So we can use CSS in polishing this when we are doing CSS. So we doing that. So let's go back to our code now. Another thing I want you to pay attention is that when you check in here, the index file and then the css.html are in different position. This one is in the folder called pages, and this one is outside the folder. So what it means is that we call something we call pathing. It's help in your SEO, search engine optimization, able to find that. So when you check this index file, we need to move in the folder to able to access this file here. So how do we do that? Doing that, we'll use a dot. So the dot is a form of moving from its current position. So we are moving from the index current position to a new folder. What is a pair? And then you bring your slash so that we can able to have. So the slash is accessing the folder itself. So the folder is pages, and then under the pages we have the CSS in over there. So if you can see, VS Code was suggesting the path for us after we have done the writing. So this one, when we save it, and then we go back to our code and we click, it takes us back to our pages page. We take it back. So let's refresh it first, and then take it back to our computer science pages. So VCOM. So this is a page over there. So when you check in our file that we are using in over there, now VS Code, so the CSS is in the CSS, that's the other page, computer science page is in the page folder, and this one is outside the folder. So we use the dot to move from the current position to access the CSS folder, and then we bring the slash to access the folder, and then the path to access the actual file. So this one we have linked in the file in over there. Now this one we call it local local link. So we have done a local one because the file sits on our machine, and the proper name is also called the proper name is also called relative link. Why relative? When we say relative, in case we change the position, we remove this file from the folder to a different place, and you try to access this path again, it will not work. So let's move it from the folder. So you just click on it and you move it outside. You put it. Do you want to say yes? So now it's no more in the folder. It's in the same link as the index folder. So now that we have done that, when we save and we go back to our page, let's go back to our index page, refresh. When we click, see it says had file not found because the position have changed. So relative ones always, when the path changes, it have effects on the path that we have created in our code. So that's why we call it relative. When we take it back, it was when I take it back, we will just click and then we drag it to the folder part. Do you want to move it? Yes. Now, and then we save it and we go back to our code and refresh. It will take back to the computer science department. So we click here and go back to our index page. So that one is called the absolute reference. Now we can also do relative one. So for instance, let's add another one. Maybe you have an external page. So I can also bring another paragraph in here. And then in this paragraph, I can put in here, click to view my channel. So maybe you have a channel over there. So this one too will bring our anchor tag. So we'll bring the A tag in here. Sorry, bring our anchor tag. So as the last time I said, the text supposed to be in between the anchor tag. So we just copy this file, we drag it in between here. So that's the anchor tag in here. We drag in between here. So this text. So we now point the location of the href. So the href is a hyper reference. So the hyper with the equal sign and the value in between. So because this one is an external, we look for an external video from that one. So that one, because an external one, which we call it absolute. So absolute is an exact position in over there. So we open it in here. We can view in any channel of our own. So for instance, if this one is our channel, our YouTube channel, where people can able to view what we have. So let's see, this is our YouTube channel. So we can click of any of the videos. So if these are YouTube, we copy it this one into our code and then we put in there. So this one starts with the protocol. It starts with the protocol and the domain name over there. So it starts with the protocol. So this one we call it the reference, absolute reference or external reference. It's absolute because the path is already created in the server. So it will not change when even it will not change. So this one we call it absolute or external reference. So it's been external link over there. So when we save it and then we go back to our code and then we refresh it, we'll see our other link in over there. So here is it, click to view our channels and it take us to our YouTube channel as you can see over there. So basically that is what this link is about. So we have the external, which is the absolute, and we have the internal or the local one, which is also the relative link over there. So that's how we do the link. So this page, we didn't do that one, so you can create the same thing over there. You can use this one also to practice, also to create the link, try with the absolute and then relative in this page to see how they work. So when you're here, you can able to also come back in between there. So you try that and then you put your comments in the comment section, like the video as you watch and you share with other people. So we'll meet in our next class. Bye bye.